You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome. Today, we're looking into what I'm calling the quiet revolution. It's all about these subtle but really significant shifts happening across tech, science, and dev tools. Our goal, like always, is to pull out the key insights for you from our sources, give you that shortcut to knowing what's really going on.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these different areas, they seem separate, but they're actually starting to connect and really push the envelope on what we thought was possible.
Okay, first up, Google. There's talk, pretty solid talk, about them merging ChromeOS and Android. Now, is this just tidying up, or is there a bigger competitive angle here, maybe taking a real shot at the iPad?
Oh, definitely. I mean, think about it. Chromebooks, they already run Android apps, and Android itself has been adding things like desktop mode, resizable windows, stuff that feels very Chrome OS-like. So bringing them together, it's logical, sure, for efficiency, but it's also potentially Google's way to finally create a really strong unified tablet and convertible experience, something, that can actually go head-to-head with Apple, which Android, well, it's always struggled there.
Right, they never quite cracked that premium tablet code. Okay, so that definitely shakes things up. Now, shifting from OS wars to AI philosophy, Meta. Big questions there about their AI strategy. Sounds like they might ditch their open source model Behemoth for something closed, which for Meta feels like a huge U-turn, doesn't it?
It really does. I
Yeah.
mean, Meta's whole thing for ages has been open sourcing AI, speed things up, make it accessible. So yeah, going closed, that's a massive shift, philosophically and technically. Sources hint at maybe some internal performance hiccups with Behemoth, but it also points to this intense pressure now, companies wanting to keep their AI secrets close, right, for the competitive edge. You even wonder if it's the start of something like AI nationalism, especially when you see Meta pouring billions into compute infrastructure. They're talking about a supercluster by 2026.
Wow. A supercluster.
Yeah, it says a lot about where high-end AI is heading, this tension between openness and control.
Okay, so from foundational software and AI, let's pivot to something foundational in biology. This cutting-edge mRNA tech. We usually think vaccines, but now, tackling antibiotic resistance. This could be enormous for global health.
Absolutely enormous. So researchers in Israel, they've had this amazing success, an mRNA vaccine against Yersinia pestis.
The plague bacterium.
Exactly, the bubonic plague. And the really critical part, in animal tests, they gave 100% protection against the pneumonic form.
Which is the deadlier lung-based version.
Precisely, much more aggressive. So this isn't just about tackling an old disease. It really it opens the door. You can see a future with mRNA vaccines for lots of other dangerous bacteria. The big question is just how fast can we get there? How quickly can this be applied to MRSA or other superbugs?
That's incredible potential. Really hopeful. Okay, from fighting tiny threats, let's look at sending energy through the air. DARPA. A new record for wireless power beaming. Feels very sci-fi, but maybe not for long.
It's pretty wild, yeah. They managed over 800 watts, sent it over 8.6 kilometers in about 30 seconds using a laser. And the efficiency wasn't bad either, maybe 20% using just like standard commercial solar cells on the receiving end. What's interesting is why lasers, they seem much better suited than, say, infrared for building these power relay networks in the air. They're precise, they go really far, and the equipment needed is lighter, smaller.
So you could have drones that just stay up indefinitely, or sensors in remote places powered without wires.
Exactly. Think logistics, defense. The possibilities are huge.
All right, speaking of changing how things work, developer tools. AWS has this new thing, Kiro IDE. They're calling it an agentic IDE for developers who are, and I love this phrase, over vibe coding. What exactly is vibe coding, and how does Kiro fix it?
Yeah, vibe coding. It's basically that early stage, right, where you're just kind of feeling out the problem, maybe sketching some stuff, but without a super clear plan. It's more intuition than structure. Kiro's approach is different. It's conversational. You tell it what you want to build, explain the goal, and then using generative AI, it creates a spec first, like a detailed blueprint, not the code itself initially.
Okay, a spec first.
Yeah. And it can apparently handle specs from multiple teams, keep everyone aligned. It works with VS Code too, uses those plugins. But the interesting question it raises is, how different is writing a spec with an AI versus just, writing the code?
Yeah.
It feels less about just making coding faster and more about maybe changing how we fundamentally approach building software. More architectural maybe, more collaborative right from the start.
So bringing it all together, we've covered a lot today. From OS strategy and AI's direction to breakthroughs in medicine, energy, even how code gets written, it really does feel like a quiet revolution.
hmm And these things, they seem varied, but you see the pattern, right?
Yeah.
Technology isn't just accelerating.
Yeah,
It's fundamentally altering how we deal with information, how we build things, how we even protect ourselves. It's all about pushing past limits we used to think were, well, fixed.
exactly. Which leads us to our final thought for you, our listener. With all this rapid change in flight, what piece of foundational tech, maybe something we overlook, do you think is poised for the next big radical transformation? Something to think about.
Spoken Tech for your ears.